But the visitors didn't just get here. They've been here for years. For decades, they've been implementing a plan that will result in the extermination of every man, woman, and child on the face of this earth.
You pathetic bunch of insects! It's time for you to be gone once and for all!
What difference at this point does it make?
Said the reptile with a grin.
What if tomorrow the president announces that shapeshifters have taken over the Department of Justice and that Robert Mueller is a reptile in human form? Would that be...
Who has heard the poem called The Snake? So I have it. Does anybody want to hear it again? You sure? Are you sure? Okay.
The entire satanic media complex, including their flagships CNN, ABC, CBS, MSNBC, and the New York Times, are all claiming that Trump is referring to himself with the snake poem or trying to discredit his use of the poem or turn it against him in one form or another. Whenever you find yourself on the same side as the venomous snake basket CNN, the CIA's psychological warfare puke bucket MSNBC, and the highly manipulative Iraq war lying machine TNYT, it's time to seriously reconsider your position because you are in very bad company. Bad company corrupts good morals, and the companions of fools suffer harm. CNN, MSNBC, TNYT, and the rest are reptilian-controlled satanic media that lie all day long, distorting and inverting reality and projecting onto others what they themselves are and do. Satanists despise and twist all truths. Psychological projection, when employed by malevolent, manipulative, narcissistic, and psychopathic predators, becomes a calculated weapon rather than an unconscious defense mechanism. They intentionally attribute their own malevolent thoughts, behaviors, and nature to others to deflect attention from their own malevolent actions and nature and manipulate the narrative to maintain their deceptive and self-serving image. It is a deliberate distortion of reality designed to confuse, divide, and destabilize. The confusion thus created makes it difficult for others to recognize their true nature and intentions and to see through their manipulations. While their opponents become preoccupied with defending themselves against the characteristics projected onto them and the resulting suspicions and restoring their reputation, they often accuse others of dishonesty or treason in order to preemptively ward off suspicion and accusation against themselves.
Hey, you want to see crazy? I'll tell you.
You sure? Are you sure?
They always act and report to the detriment of mankind. Their media and newspapers are thought poison factories. Their propaganda is absolutely misleading and extremely malicious. They are reptilians, satanic covens, and everyone who works there is corrupt and sick, from the CEO to the news anchors, editors, and cameramen. These organizations are truth-free zones. The satanic nature of these snakes includes pathological lies, deception, and the support and promotion of wars. Their media claim that Trump is referring to himself with the snake poem. They call Trump a snake as an act of inversion and projection. Because they are snakes.
Enhanced charges.
It's so shocking, Sarah. How long was it being live streamed on Facebook?
Sarah, how long was this being face streamed live on Facebook?
So this went on for about 25 minutes. The victim was able to escape when a neighbor called the police.
Said the reptile with a grin.
Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled so we stop killing all these people. You have
Mr.
to
President,
get Europe.
can I just follow up on that because that's a really important
Excuse me,
statement
let me
that
just
you just
follow
made
up.
there. Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying. Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying. You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
The vicious snake.
This vicious diatribe contributed significantly to the intellectual legitimization of the invasion of Iraq, which violated international law and resulted in 1 million dead civilians. And that was just one of its infernal gems. The New York Times scribblers lie and deceive without interruption. The same diabolical snakes can be found there as at CNN.
Any outlaw regime that has ties to terrorist groups and seeks or possesses weapons of mass destruction is a grave danger to the civilized world and will be confronted. We've begun the search for hidden chemical and biological weapons and already know of hundreds of sites that will be investigated. Those weapons of mass destruction got to be somewhere. Nope, no weapons over there. Maybe under here. Oops, this photo wasn't supposed to be in here. The decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine. Iraq, anyway.
Said the reptile with a grin.
Chinese.
Can we buy a Chinese firm?
No, not right now.
Then why should they buy one of ours?
Why not?
Because we can't buy one of theirs. Open up the market.
Very,
Quid
very
pro
well.
quo,
Yes,
Clarice.
we have capitalism and we embrace it. And we have capitalism and we embrace it. And we have capitalism and we embrace it. And we have capitalism and we embrace it. And
Has he offered to withdraw? From the council?
The reptilians are vastly outnumbered by humans, hence their massive efforts to divide humans through social engineering. They could not manage a unified human response, not even a coordinated response by a determined minority of humans. Their survival depends on secrecy, on their ability to conceal themselves. They will never draw attention to themselves. This is forbidden to them. It is one of their laws or a planetary law that they must obey at all costs, and breaking this law will result in severe penalties for them. Reptilians endure great physical discomfort, if not pain, when they hide their natural tongue-flicking reflex in public by suppressing it. This can be seen in many politicians and newsreaders. They all try very, very hard to suppress their lizard tongue. And when they make a mistake, they quickly and panically explain it away with flimsy excuses.
What really happened on that Thursday here at Augusta High School that led to Chris Wood's death?
The fuck is that? Shit! I'm dying in this fucking country-ass fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth.
What really happened on that Thursday here at Augusta High School that led to Chris Wood?
First frame. Nothing flies into his mouth. It comes out of his mouth. It's not a flying insect that flies into his mouth. The excuse he uses, it's his reptilian tongue that shoots out of his mouth uncontrollably.
Death. What really happened on that Thursday here at Augusta High School that led to Chris Wood's death?
wasn't a moth that flew into his mouth, it was his own reptilian tongue that flicked out of his mouth as he failed to suppress his natural serpent reflex. That's the kind of embarrassing excuses they see themselves forced to making up to keep their existence secret. The snake loses control of his tongue the moment he says death. The snakes are death energy parasites, death cultists, that energy vampiristically feed on misery, suffering, and death. The mere mention of death or the focus on the subject causes the snake to lose control of its tongue. Just like a Pavlovian dog that starts drooling as soon as it hears a food can being opened.
That led to Chris Wood's death. Death.
You like killing things, Orc. You like death.
Eventually, the reptilians will be forced by external circumstances beyond their control, the earth vibration increasing in humans becoming able to see them, to further the process of externalizing their hierarchy, meaning stepping out of the shadows into the open. And in order to do this, they depend on a positive image to win the hearts and minds of humans through deception. Therefore, they would certainly not create a negative image of themselves by describing themselves as poisonous snakes that kill humans if they let them into their house, or rather their world. That is exactly the opposite of what they want. Trump reads the snake poem as a warning about them. He is exposing them.
I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated. The fact is, you can't look at that television and say, nothing happened on the 6th.
But the visitors didn't just get here. They've been here for years. For decades, they've been implementing a plan that will result in the extermination of every man, woman, and child on the face of this earth. These posing as humans established themselves in all facets of life, whether it be business, government, religion, the military. It took years. And once embedded among us, they set out to cause worldwide instability. Unnecessary wars, economic meltdown, faith twisted into extremism. The final stage of the visitors' plan began with them revealing themselves to us. They gained trust with the promise of friendship and technology, and of course all they're really doing is positioning themselves as the saviors of mankind.
He's part of a sleeper cell.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
A sleeper cell of visitors.
Yeah, a sleeper cell of visitors.
Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. So somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
We come from another world.
We come in peace.
To offer you a new way.
A better way.
To build a perfect future for you humans.
We just need you
to embrace change.
Hi there, humanity. My name is Don. I'm an alien. But don't worry, we come in peace.
You don't speak for us.
I definitely don't come in peace.
Exactly. If peace happens, then fine.
Then what should I say?
You know what? Tell them we come in peace, and then they won't be expecting an invasion.
Ooh, tell them we come in peace.
She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite. I have saved you, cried the woman. And you've bitten me, heavens, why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die.
Visitors are not our friends. They've come to rape our planet and kill us. They are not who they appear to be. This is not science fiction.
Oh, shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
Visitors are not our friends. They've come to rape our planet and kill us. They are not who they appear to be. This is not science fiction.
3. Trump often read the snake poem in the clear context of the invasion of the West by migrants, military men disguised as civilians from South America, China, and the Third World. But not only that. It is rumored that one of the main reasons, if not the main reason, for the invasion of Iraq was to secure access to an ancient stargate that had been discovered in the region. And there is video footage of buses full of alleged third world migrants from these regions, all of whom, as fringe researchers discovered, had clear reptilian features. The typical greenish skin color, slit pupils, etc. This could be due to them being in war zones, hotspots for interdimensional breaches and soldiers catching reptilian attachments there, but it could also be related to the discovered Stargate and a large-scale invasion of reptilian body snatchers through it. With the West being infiltrated first, as it is the center of human civilization and must be destabilized and eventually destroyed as a priority, all under the guise of migrants fleeing war zones. As Trump puts it, we don't know who they are, we don't know who is coming into our countries. Could this be a Trojan horse? He may not just be warning of potential terrorists, but actually of interdimensional reptilian infiltrators. This is most evident in the form of the MS-13 gang from South America, a satanic reptilian proxy group that regularly performs satanic blood and death rituals, which are typical reptilian acts.
This could be the great Trojan horse of all time. Because you look at the migration, study it, look at it. Now they'll start infiltrating with women and children. But you look at that migration, and I'm looking at it, and I'm the first one to bring it up. 3 weeks ago, I'm saying, isn't that a shame? And then I said to myself, wow, they're all men. There are no men. You look at it, there are so few women, and there are so few children. And not only are they men, they're young men, and they're strong as can be. They're tough-looking cookies. I say, what's going on here? Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. The border.
Number 8, we will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens, never happens. Hillary Clinton, all talk. Unfortunately, when there is action, it's always the wrong decision. Do you ever notice? In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system. Approximately half of new illegal immigrants came on temporary visas and then never, ever left. Why should they? Nobody's telling them to leave. Stay as long as you want. We'll take care of you. Beyond violating our laws, visa overstays pose, and they really are a big problem, pose a substantial threat to national security. The 9/11 Commission said that this tracking system should be a high priority and would have assisted law enforcement and intelligence officials in August and September 2001 in conducting a search for 2 of the 9/11 hijackers that were in the United States on expired visas. And you know what that would have meant. What that could have meant. Wouldn't that have been wonderful, right? What that could have meant. Last year alone, nearly 500,000 individuals overstayed their temporary visas. Removing visa overstays will be a top priority of my administration. If people around the world believe they can just come on a temporary visa and never, ever leave, the Obama-Clinton policy, that's what it is, then we have a completely open border and we no longer have a country. We must send a message that visa expiration dates will be strongly enforced.
I'm with you, the American people.
Ever ready. It's very high energy, Donald.
Trump may also have read the snake poem as a reference to his opponent for the presidency, Hillary Clinton, who is definitely a snake. She's a host for a Draco reptilian. Trump reads the snake poem for the same reason he aptly refers to Kamala Harris on his official website as a shape-shifting reptilian chameleon, to expose the shape-shifting reptilian infiltrators among us. Chameleons are not shapeshifters, they just change color. So why is this particular term used deliberately? Chameleons are not shapeshifters. But reptilian infiltrators are shapeshifters. Therefore, a shape-shifting chameleon is a shape-shifting reptilian. That's the implied meaning. Obviously, they can't express it that directly, so one has to deduce the meaning between the lines with logic.
Track the pod to find the girl. She knows more than she knows. Hey! This one's taken.
After 9 months of programming, I had become a man in black. What I later discovered was that not all the men in black were human. About a third were alien hybrids. Their distinctive feature was the absence of whites in their eyes, giving the impression of empty eye sockets. This unsettled me, and it took months to adjust to the reality of alien integration.
I'm going to be honest with you. We both know you're fucked.
Excuse me?
Your mom writes on the walls with her own shit. Great changes are coming to Dead World, my son. Waves of maggots over oceans of rot. You'll see it, David. You'll see it with your own eyes. Do you understand?
You like killing things, Orc. You like death.
There is so much to applaud him for about, as everyone has said, how he lived his truth, how he lived his faith, how he put that faith into action. And we have to remember, yes, it was about Bloody Sunday, and you and I and others were there. That was my last big event before the pandemic, was to be there with John, with you and so many others, to walk across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in March.
Waves of maggots over oceans of rot.
Those troops out of Iraq, over the recommendations of the generals, those troops out of Iraq, over the recommendation.
Directional smelling is an advantage when a snake is hunting prey or avoiding predators. A key function of the vomeronasal organ is detecting pheromones.
Hey, I'm Miley Cyrus, and I'll be the musical guest and host this week on SNL.
Miley, do you mind me asking why you're always sticking out your tongue?
It's how I smell.
That's how you smell, like a snake.
Yeah. Are you wearing women's deodorant?
No! Yes.
TxDOT's highway traffic signs posted messages about the presidential candidates.
Fox 4's Jenny Anchondo live in West Dallas to show us what happened.
Yeah, you can't make these up, and it's almost like we need to do a live shot out here in order to prove that these signs were not made up. So it's political sign wars out here, and we show you this one in particular says Bernie for president. So we are on Westmoreland below Interstate 30. You will see this sign if you're driving north on Westmoreland. It is not all about Bernie, though. About a half-mile west of here, there's a sign about Trump. It scrolls and says, Donald Trump is a shape-shifting lizard. So this one is on westbound I-30 between Westmoreland and Cockrell Hill. So far, no Hillary signs have been spotted. I just heard that there's another one on the other side of I-30 on Westmoreland, which you would see going southbound. That one says work is canceled. So maybe we'll get some video of that one so you can show it to your boss.
Look at this video that's sweeping the internet. It's the inauguration parade held in Washington last week. Check out the Secret Service agent. His hand isn't moving. To some observers, it seems to be a prosthetic hand, known as a tactical fake arm. Is it possible that his real hand is holding a gun tucked inside his coat? That's what some are saying. However, some people are debunking the theory.
We just need you
to embrace change.
During his presidency, Trump has seriously considered or even actually planned to expose Robert Mueller as a shape-shifting reptilian infiltrator. The case of Trump, Mueller, and Kimmel for reference. Kimmel, like most so-called comedians, who are really political activists in disguise, belongs to the group of reptilian infiltrators, and he has been tasked with preemptively ridiculing a potentially imminent unmasking of Mueller by Trump.
At this point, we should appoint a special prosecutor to investigate Donald Trump's imagination because it has run completely wild. This gets just a tiny bit nuttier every single day. I mean, what if tomorrow, stay with me on this, what if tomorrow the president announces that shapeshifters have taken over the Department of Justice and that Robert Mueller is a reptile in human form? Would that be so different from what he's doing now? I mean, if Trump said Robert Mueller is a lizard who came here from space to destroy America, based on how things have been going so far, I have to believe that Sean Hannity and Lou Dobbs and those dummies on Fox and Friends would jump in and go, yes, Robert Mueller is an iguana. That's right.
You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in. Does that make sense to anybody?
Yes, that makes sense. So we knew he was a snake. You knew he was a snake.
Okay.
Conclusion. It's a good thing that Trump read the snake poem. Every day the snake poem should be broadcast and discussed on all channels and spread far and wide. It exposes the true nature of the deceitful snakes and is devastating to their agenda of externalizing their hierarchy and portraying themselves as poor refugees, which is an actual plan they are considering. Saviors in distress artificially caused by them, or poor refugees in need of protection. These are the two most likely scenarios at present. For reference, several series and movies that depict the imminent arrival or already secret presence of poor Nordic or reptilian refugees, such as in Thor and Secret Invasion. This will be the biggest Trojan horse operation of all time and possibly lead to the downfall of mankind. Unless enough humans can be forewarned.
The moral to be drawn from this dangerous nightmare situation is a simple one. Don't let it happen. It depends on you.
Cut off one head. Two more shall grow in its place.
Then I guess we'll keep cutting them off.